I'm joined by Arizona State Athletic Director Graham Rossini. Graham, thanks for taking the time to join us this morning.
Glad to be with you.
You navigated a lot during your first year here under Arizona Athletics. How were you able to navigate all of that in your first year?
I love the Sun Devils, so I get to wake up every day and represent something that I was a part of, something that I cherish very much, and so it's never felt like a job. We've got important work in front of us, but I get to wake up and put on the pitchfork or a Sparky logo and go talk about something that I'm forever proud of.
And of course, House versus NCAA, that settlement affecting the rest of the college sports world forever.
Yeah.
How is that plan going to affect Arizona State Athletics?
Well, I think it's an important step forward for our industry, and a lot of decisions have been tied up the past couple of years as we're waiting on the settlement and what the outcomes would be. And now the benefit is we have clarity, so we can all plan forward. We have guardrails, we have a unified standard that we're all operating on, and we're ready. We're ready for this new environment. As NIL turns back into what it was intended to, there's commercial intent, fair market value into the endorsements. It's not pay for play. We've got the rev share opportunity with our athletes where we can make that direct investment up to $20.5 million. And then we've got scholarship limits going away and roster caps coming in where we're able to add hundreds of scholarships across all sports and really resource all 26 of our Sun Devil teams to go be successful as much as they can.
Yeah, and with Title IX being, compliance being a talk of this new model, how is ASU able to ensure the gender equity among the revenue split?
Well, the Title IX has always been a driving force in all the decisions that we make. That's important for our institution. It's always been important for our athletics department. That's why we're adding over 200 scholarships. And so 85% of our athletes, both male and female, will now be on scholarship. We've added almost 100 on the female side going into next year. Female sports will be participants in rev share. So we're very much looking across our ecosystem in athletics and making sure that we're resourcing all sports, not putting these new resources into just one or two.
And I got to ask you this question. What's the revenue split going to be looking like for Arizona State Athletics?
Yeah, that's not a decision that we're going to be talking about publicly. We've got a handful of sports that'll be the benefactor of it. Our focus has been on how do we resource all 26 of our sports by adding to their operational budget, increasing scholarships significantly, and making sure that we're giving all 26 a chance to compete at the highest possible level.
Will coaches and programs have an influence in that?
In terms of how the revenue share?
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, we've got a method to the madness. It's, again, not a formula that's worth talking about publicly. It's something that we make a decision within our walls and with President Crow's feedback on where those dollars need to go. Naturally, football and basketball are going to be the key recipients of that. There are a few others as well. But we're in fluid conversations with our coaches about everything they need to be successful in this new environment. And I've said this a lot over the last year that we want to resource our coaches to lead at the highest possible level. We need their feedback. We need their insights on what they're up against in the recruiting trails, what they think can really help propel our programs forward, and we want to go fight to get them those resources.
Before all of this, backdooring in that issue of getting NIL, even before the NIL area, was a thing amongst college sports. And with the College Sports Commission now being enacted, do you still think there might be loopholes and gaps to that? And how is ASU trying to stick with that standard of sticking with the policy?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the College Sports Commission. Brian Seeley was named the CEO. I had the pleasure of working with him when I was at the Diamondbacks and he was at Major League Baseball. He is coming in to hold schools and individuals accountable to the rules. We all signed up for it. Every Division I institution that's opted in agreed to the terms of the settlement. We need to toe the line and operate in the way that we've designed for the past couple of years. I'm sure there will be schools that are looking for loopholes and creative ways to beat the system. We're not going to be one of them. We're going to do it the right way, even if it makes it a little bit harder along the way. But again, we're in the right city with the right fan base, with the right opportunities to go find our voice in this new normal. But there's also going to be heavy enforcement, and there'll be punitive damages for schools or individuals that are trying to find illegal workarounds.
And it's inevitable to try to fit that $20.5 million budget. I'm sure I've heard some colleges, increase ticket prices to make that. How is ASU trying to combat that $20.5 million?
Yeah, there's no secret. We've got to generate more revenue, and we're well on our way. And our team has done an incredible job. Last year, we increased our corporate partnership revenue 25%. Lisa Young, our deputy AD, Brett Wallerstedt, our head of corporate partnerships, and their team have been incredible at finding new and dynamic partnerships that allow us to move the needle. Our season tickets going into this football season are going to be the most we've had in over a decade. These are really important revenue streams that we need to grow to compete in this new environment. But again, that's the benefit of a large fan base like the Sun Devils have. It's the benefit of being in an incredible market like Phoenix in the Valley. And so we're just trying to sophisticate ourselves as a business unit. I'm not a big believer that athletes should become employees. I don't think that college sports should evolve into professional sports. I do think we need to run a better business as a collegiate athletic department, and we've been hard at work doing just that.
And, right down the street here in Phoenix, we saw the GCU men's volleyball program being cut. Do you, dealing with that, how do you think ASU is going to protect those Olympic and non-revenue sports to prevent that from happening?
I think we've already taken a big step forward in the scholarships that we've added. And again, over 200 scholarships that are benefiting all 26 of our sports. We've had great heritage and great success in a lot of our Olympic sports. That was intended to allow them to take a huge step forward and resource scholarships as a recruiting tool in a way that a lot of other institutions haven't been able to do. I've seen maybe less than a dozen in the country that are adding significantly. There's schools in our conference that are actually eliminating scholarships for some sports to be able to put those into football and baseball and other sports to make a need. And so, increasing scholarships, increasing program budgets is intended to put all of our programs on stable footing, and we want to continue to, again, generate revenue, drive a better business in support of all 26 of our programs.
Thank you, Grant, for joining us this morning and to talk about the ever-changing world of college athletics. Thank you.